Hi, so my name's Jenny Darling. I'm a mental health nursing lecturer at Salford University. I'm also a CBT therapist, so I teach on the pre-reg course, teaching mental health nurses, because that's my background, working as a mental health nurse and a community mental health nurse. And then I also, after that, trained as a CBT therapist. So I teach on the master's course in CBT therapy, and I'm registered as a CBT therapist. Clinically, I work at a service called Manchester Resilience Hub, which is an NHS service. It's a multidisciplinary team, so it's mental health nurses, psychiatrists, therapists, all working together. And it was set up as a coordinated response to the Manchester Arena attack, and it's supporting people, young people, adults' mental health and their emotional well-being has been affected by the Manchester Arena attacks. So some of the background of that is important because I guess the research that I've been looking at is about using virtual reality, which is obviously a VR headset, to help people in their journey of recovery at Manchester Resilience Hub. So we do lots of different things at Manchester Resilience Hub. We support people quite proactively, so we're checking in with people, checking how they're doing. We've run family days where we talk to people about managing trauma as a family, and we've always done it from a really multidisciplinary approach, so looking at it from a perspective where we think about using nurses, using therapists, using psychiatrists, using social workers to get everybody together to try and work to coordinate this kind of effective response for people. So the branch of the service that I got really involved with was I was the lead for the virtual reality. And what we did was, one of the difficulties we found was a lot of research has gone into the idea of looking at visiting the place where the trauma happened at the right time. So when you feel ready or your right journey in therapy is particularly helpful for people. It does something to help people progress in their therapy journey. And what we found with Manchester Resilience Hub was it was really difficult for people to go back to Manchester Arena. So there's some logistical issues, obviously, with what had happened. The arena was closed and there was lots of repair work going on, so people couldn't go inside. There was also heightened security, so they were very aware of people outside of the building. And they weren't terribly keen on doing organised visits to people, just logistical and health and safety reasons, because of all of the building work that was going on there. So what we did was we had an agreement with Manchester Resilience Hub, and we worked with Salford University, so Professor David Roberts, who I've been working with, and Alan Barrett from the Manchester Resilience Hub, and we went to the MEN Arena, and we took a 360 video camera with us, so it's like one of those little GoPro cameras. And we literally walked around the arena when it was in a reasonably good state. So we don't want to do the filming that's going to be reminding people of that night. And this is a really important thing to tell people. We're filming the arena as it looks now. So people will recognise some familiar things, some things will be quite different. So we went in with this 360 camera and we did various different journeys around the arena and filmed them all. And then some of what we did then was we offered people who were in therapy or being supported by people the opportunity to view this footage with a member of the hub. And a member of the hub team, it could be a mental health nurse who's done the training in the VR. So we set up, me and David Roberts, we set up some training to teach people about some of the theory about VR, very basic nuts and bolts about how virtual reality interventions work and how they work with trauma. And then we did some basic training on the technical stuff of the kit, and the kit is not very technical. It's literally a handheld eye mask that you wear, and you pop a mobile phone into it. So the great thing about this was it was a really cost-effective treatment. It was easy for us to do, it was quick, it was cost-effective, we could use it. So, and it was really novel. So as a piece of research, it's really helpful for us because we're almost saying, this is really quick, easy and useful, and if it's effective with people, it can really help people in their recovery journey. So what we wanted to know was viewing this VR footage helpful? So some of what I did was a service evaluation to ask everyone, and we had a small cohort of people who replied to us, 35 people, who had viewed the VR footage with a member of staff. There's been much more people that have viewed the VR footage now, but at this time, that was the cohort that we had. And what we wanted to find out was asking them some open and closed questions about what's been helpful. So the big things we wanted to know were, has the footage helped you or your child? Because we're asking parents if they had come with their child. No children under a certain age were allowed to view the VR footage because there are some caveats about using VR with younger people. So there was a bit of a cut-off, which is a little unfortunate with Manchester Arena because we had some younger people. So we tried to, again, sort of work as much as we could with people from sort of 15 upwards. We asked about if there's anything that we could do to make it more experience. And then we asked people a really important question. Do you think it's helped you? Do you think you're more likely to go back to the arena? So it was really nice because 94% of respondents really agreed that the hub had been really helpful, that the footage had been really helpful, and that they felt it was well organised and supportive. So pretty much everybody strongly agreed. We had some people who mildly agreed, but nobody disagreed with the idea that the actual support that the hub had provided from the VR was really helpful. People, again, 94% of people said that they really strongly agreed that they'd had enough time to look at the footage, and that they strongly agreed that they are glad that they used that footage. We asked people if it meant that they were more likely to go back to the arena, and we had 19 of our 35 respondents said strongly agree, 4 said, so it was times I'm looking at the numbers and getting confused. 70% of people strongly agreed that the footage had helped them go back, would help them go back to the arena. We had a further 17% who said they agreed or they were neutral about it. We had a couple of people who had given us a negative response, and this is the only question we really got negative responses for, and it was only 1 or 2. So the higher number of people were saying that they'd found the footage definitely helped them go back to the arena. 97% of respondents really strongly agreed that they felt supported by the staff, which was great. And we asked people some general comments about what was helpful, and some of the things that people had come out with which were really nice were I felt like I was back there and I could overcome my fear. It helped me understand what I was apprehensive about. It helped me feel better about going back. It was a really powerful piece of the jigsaw for me, so I'm reading some of these quotes here. It made me feel more confident going back. It's helped me feel more confident, put my mind at ease. It helped me know and remember what the arena looks like now. It almost felt like I was there, and that was really supportive. I don't think I'll ever return, but I really found helping this, facing up to this was helpful, and I really appreciate it at the time. So generally speaking, we've got some really useful comments, and obviously we're going to try and replicate this, but the useful thing for us was finding out about the idea that we could, and again, when you think about what's happening at the moment and the potential for there being trauma and people needing to perhaps go back to the place of trauma in terms of their therapy journey, and that not being a straightforward process, the idea that we could do this in a virtual environment. And again, often virtual environments, when we talk about them in therapy, they're very expensive, laboursome, they're created. So if we can do it using 360 footage, which is very readily available, quick and easy to do, and absolutely replicates that environment that somebody was in, it can be really helpful. The useful thing, I think, for mental health nurses is this is an intervention. Also, one of the great things about it, which I felt, was that it's very easy to train people in. So there isn't a lot of training. You have to learn some stuff about how VR works. You have to learn some stuff about the equipment. There's obviously questionnaires to go through with people. And what we did was we gradually sort of work staff up in terms of their confidence to becoming more experienced. So it was like they would do a VR with somebody else, and they would do one with somebody else, and then they would do one by themselves if they felt comfortable doing that. So there's a real process of being able to skill staff up to do this really quick, easy intervention, which was going to help people in recovery. And it wasn't exclusively for therapists. It was something that potentially could be used in really different kind of environments to support people.